Welcome back to Horror on Tap. It's been a minute. I haven't been around much lately. I've been working too hard, had way too much stuff going on. Still doing that, still real busy, but we are, as I'm recording this, just about a week away from Halloween. So, being is that we are well into the fall season, I figured I should do something that I'm very good at, and I should drink some beer. Now, I've picked out about 10 fall themed beers. I'm only going to do 5 tonight because I do have to get up tomorrow. And if I do all 10, that's not going to be much of a possibility, I don't think. So we're going to drink some beer, we're going to talk some horror, and I'm going to show you some shit that I got. And as you can see, things are looking a little bit different around here. Been trying to revamp the studio a bit. I've got a few things that are up, that are new, that are in. Some stuff that's not in yet, and I've got a bunch of my lighting that is not in here right now. So this is not the final look. I do have a bunch of shit that I'm using for Halloween, for trick-or-treating, so I've got that being utilized elsewhere. So that stuff will find its way in eventually. But for today, we're going to do a little drinking, talk a little horror, and I'm going to show you some shit that I got. So I've got my trusty little cooler right here next to me. I'm going to reach in and grab the first one. This is the only one I think I've got that's in a bottle. And that's a good one to start with. It's a Trog's Oktoberfest Lager. I think doing a lighter beer to start off with is probably the way to go. So let me crack this bad boy open. Oh, yeah. Didn't make a whole lot of noise there. I haven't had an Oktoberfest beer in quite a while, so this could be a good treat. I got my water here too. I'm moving that out of the way so I can set my beer down. Ooh, that's tasty. I don't do a lot of lagers. They're just way too light for me. I'm more of an IPA guy, as most of you know. Gotten into a lot of double and triple hazy IPAs, which I might have. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I have any IPAs really in the repertoire. They're usually not big fall beers anyway, but this is actually pretty nice. Fairly light, but it's got quite a bit of that Oktoberfest flavor to it, so I can't complain. And I think what I'll do while I'm working on that, I will grab the first thing to show you guys that I've obtained over the past probably couple of months or so while I've been off doing my own shit. I've been buying not a lot of stuff, but some stuff for Halloween and some things that I might use, I might not, and then some other shit that I just thought was cool. So let me grab the first item. So the first thing I've got here is the official Halloween Ends Michael Myers knife. Really, it's just that design just printed on the blade. Like there's no texture to it, and if you look at it, ooh, there's the first one. If you look at it kind of close, not a whole lot of detail to it. It really doesn't look anything like it did in the movie. I mean, from just on the camera, it kind of looks like, there's some rust, and then this would be, the metal that's not quite rusted out yet. But overall, yeah, not terribly impressive. I wouldn't say. I would say the one that I made on my own, just out of the, it was the Halloween 2018 knife. I turned that into a Halloween Kills one a few years ago. And I tried to make it into a Halloween Ends one this year, but it didn't come out the greatest. But I still think it looks a little bit better than this fucking thing. Let me grab that too. Yeah, that's this guy right here. I tried adding it had the blood and everything. I put that on and the texture to it, but I put basically just some flat brown paint on it. And overall, I mean, it still looks kind of neat. It looks a little gruesome, if you will, but it doesn't look anything like the knife that Michael had in Halloween Ends. So I don't think I'm going to use that one for anything Halloween Ends related. So one thing that came out, God, I can't remember exactly when it came out. It came out a little while ago. I think it's been a few months. Was the the Sweet Revenge short from the Friday the 13th series. I've only seen it, I think, once or twice. It's been a while. I thought it was pretty well done. The mask is obviously a big point of contention for a lot of Friday the 13th fans. At first, when I first saw the mask, from like pressers and things like that, I was like, "Oh my god, here we go." Someone's going to take, this long-standing iconic mask and really kind of bastardize it into something that they want that fans might not want or really enjoy at all. But ultimately, with the right lighting and the way it was shot in that short film, I actually really liked it. So if I think if they can keep it in the right lighting, the kind of that side oblique lighting, if you will, I think it'll work if that's what they're going to use. I don't know if that's what they're using for the Crystal Lake series. I assume they are. I haven't really delved into it too much, so it'll be interesting to see where that whole thing goes. The way the storyline played out, pretty typical. I mean, it was only like 15 minutes long, so they really couldn't do too much. But the ending, that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what is happening here? Is this the way the whole series is going to go? I mean, it's the kind of thing where you have, an iconic character like Jason or like Michael or Freddy or whomever. You don't need a sidekick. Now, that was one of the things from Halloween Ends that a lot of people really hated was that Corey kind of came off as like the Robin to Michael's Batman, if you will. And that was one of the things about the movie I didn't really care for. He really, Corey made Michael look like a bitch there for a while. But yeah, I really hope they don't really go that route with the Friday the 13th, the Crystal Lake series. We really just want to see our Jason. We want Jason. We want that guy right there. Doesn't have to be that exact mask or anything, but we want that guy, the brutal slasher motherfucker, stabs all the tits and areolas. Boom, bango, whoosh, gone, done. That's the guy we want. So hopefully that's what we're gonna get, and not a whole lot of other kind of side stories. Obviously, we're gonna get prequel type stuff. It's supposed to be a prequel, so we're gonna get the beginnings and the origins and Jason growing up probably and whatever. I don't know exactly what we're gonna get, but we definitely don't want a series that's all about some crazy sidekick character. But anyway, that's my rant on that. I'm gonna keep drinking this beer. Oh, there's number one done. You always got to do that. Yeah, that went down real smooth. That was good. Might be like my favorite lager right now. That's really good shit. So I'm going to put that one away. Reach into my trusty cooler here and see what we got. Allagash Haunted House. Hoppy Dark Al. 6.6 ABV. That's not too bad. Where is this? From Maine. Oh, Allagash. I'm sure I've had Allagash something or another in the past, but holy hell. If I throw up, don't hold that against me. So I should probably go grab a koozie because this thing is going to get warm kind of quick. Yeah, I'm going to grab a koozie. So I got my my coat. I'm not going to make it through this thing. Got my koozie here. Yeah, that's the Allagash Haunted House right there. Hoppy Dark Ale. I don't know what to expect from this. I guess we'll see here momentarily. That's a beautiful sound. Cheers. It's definitely a dark ale. Yeah, I haven't had a dark ale in good God, I don't know how long. That one won't go down as quick. I can guarantee that. It's good, but yeah, it's like a brown ale. Yeah, it's got kind of that that kind of molasses kind of flavor, and sits in the back of your throat there for a minute, but that's pretty good. I do have a few beers. I can't remember what else I have in here, but I know I bought a bunch that are local, so be sure to drink local. Let's see. What do I have? Item number 2. Let me check. Oh, I know. This is actually 2 items really, but it's ahead. And whoa, fuck me. Corey Cunningham's clown mask from Halloween Ends. Now, you'll start to see that there is a pattern developing here. You'll also notice there is a an empty spot right about there. Oh, yeah. So you probably know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I wanted to get the Corey Cunningham mask and needed something to put it on that, so I could kind of display it. It doesn't really look like his head per se. It's got a big old bald spot on the top, but overall, it'll serve its purpose. So the mask itself looks pretty much identical to what you see in the movie. I mean, it's really just one of those basic plastic masks that it's a very quick airbrushing, and there you go. So not really much to it, but overall, it looks pretty good. I mean, it might look a little funky on that head. It doesn't look, obviously, it doesn't look like Corey Cunningham. But it was like a $10 severed head prop from Amazon. So you get what you pay for. The mask was actually way more expensive than that. I mean, it wasn't expensive. I think it was like, I don't know, 15, $20. Something like that. I can't remember, but definitely worth having. I may take it off the severed head eventually and just hang it somewhere or put it on like a mass display, but I don't know. We'll see. It yeah, it looks pretty good. Really haven't even looked at it this close before. I also didn't try it on. Hmm. Interesting. I look like a fucking Amish scarecrow. Yeah, it really doesn't fit my head too well. Whoop. Can't see shit in my peripherals either. There's a piece of foam about right here on the forehead. Sticks it out a little bit, and then my chin actually ends like down here. So it's a little small for my face. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to wear this for more than, well, until about right now. Oh, and then the face or the head really looks like that. Look at the fucking nose all squished in. Oh, God. Looks like he's got a fucking cocaine problem. Yeah, it looks more like Gene Simmons, actually. Alright, I'm gonna get out of this fucking mess. This thing's not comfortable at all. So one other thing, horror related, that I wanted to kind of mention or delve into just a tiny bit is the recent release of Halloween Aftermath. Now I remember the trailer coming out for it. I mean, I feel like it was at least a few months ago, and thinking, wow, this looks really fucking good. Like, it looks professionally made. The cinematography and the lighting and the costumes and everything looked fantastic in the trailer. And then I sat down to watch the premiere on YouTube, free for everybody. Um, the one thing I noticed right away was that, and this has nothing to do with the makers or the producers or anything of the movie. It was being premiered in 1080p, which is fine. I mean, no big deal. I mean, my videos right now are in 1080p. I mean, I record my videos like from my camera in 4K, but just because the software I use, it kind of reduces it down to 1080p. So no big deal, but it really made a lot of the dark shots look real grainy and everything. But that's not their fault. That's just the way YouTube is, I think. Aside from that, my impressions on that film, uh, I agree with a lot of people who are like, uh, I expected like a 25-30 minute short film. And we got this almost, I mean, what was like 2.25, almost 2.5 hour film, which was, I'm always happy to watch anything to do with Halloween or Michael Myers, even a fan film. I'm all in. Even if if it, if it ends up being not that great of a film, I'll still be glad that I watched it. Now there are some that I've watched in the past where, well, I've started to watch in the past. You get 5 minutes into it, and you're like, you know what? This is like, some guy in his backyard with a cell phone, and it looks like crap, and you know, not even like a smartphone, like a flip phone, it looks horrible. So I just turned those right off. This film, I remember when it started, I sat there and I was texting with or messaging with a guess I'll say an online horror community buddy of mine, Dean Renner, and we were kind of messaging back and forth a little bit, and I was like, I'm sitting here like in anticipation, and I feel like I did when I was in the theater waiting for Halloween 2018 or even Halloween Kills. I was like really in anticipation of what was about to come. And the movie starts, and you got this and that and everything going on. I'm not going to give any spoilers away because I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't seen it. Not that there's a lot of people watching this right now, so whatever. But either way, I'm not going to give any real spoilers or anything. So, uh, the the main thing that I kind of remember from it was that it felt like you were sitting there watching an official Halloween entry in the franchise. It really did. It was very well made. The lighting, the cinematography, the acting was very good for a fan film. Now, was it? Are these actors going to go on and become superstars? Probably not. I mean, fuck, I'm not. I don't. I'm not an actor. Um, but I don't. I don't look at their performances and go, ooh, and like they were good. They were very good. They just, it's a fan film, so I don't expect the kind of acting that you would get from somebody who's been through acting school and who's a professional. I don't expect quite that level. And were they quite there? Most of them, no. Some of them were really good. There were some really good actors in that film, and I do hope that a few of them actually, go on to, you know, be in film if that's what they're looking to do in their life. Um, the let's see, there were a few things that I noticed that I'm sure were intentionally done from the director, uh, to try to make it feel like that bridge film between, excuse me, between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. And I think he accomplished that by the way the film was shot. A lot of the cinematography, the he did a lot of things that you saw in the David Gordon Green trilogy. Things like the real slow zooms in and out, and a lot of them. Like David Gordon Green does a shitload of those, and sometimes it's almost like, oh my god, stop doing that. Just pan or just or even do a crawl. Like a lot of times you can tell it's either a zoom from the camera or they took the image in post and made it bigger or made it smaller, that kind of thing. So those the making it all kind of come together so it felt like it was made by the same person who did the trilogy, David Gordon Green, or at least having the same cinematographer. it really did come together well, and overall, I really enjoyed it. There were a few things that I didn't really care for, but I'm not going to get into those because I do know some people who had some involvement in them in that movie, and I don't want to feel like I'm talking ill about anything on it. It's just, I have my preferences or my opinions. And, again, I'm not a filmmaker, so kudos to them to what they did. I thought it was very well made. I watched it on the premiere. And then I went back again. I think it was the next day or maybe 2 days later to watch it again because it was, if you go back and watch it after the premiere, it did upload in high def, like 4K or 2K or whatever it was. So I went back to watch it again, and I got probably half or 2/3 of the way through it. And I wasn't really just sitting there watching. It was more like I would go do some stuff. I'd come back, sit down, watch, 15, 20, 25 minutes, pause it, get up, go do some stuff, come back, watch a little bit more. And yeah, I think I got half or 2/3 of the way through it, something like that, and didn't finish the end of it. And I don't remember everything that happened at the end, but I think it was a pretty good intermediate between kills and ends. So um, I definitely look forward to watching it again at some point. I think it'll kind of be like ends. Like when I watched ends, um, it really, I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I did like it. I liked it a lot, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So it seemed like I didn't like it as much as I probably could have or should have. Um, so I think this is one that the more I watch it, the more things I will notice and pick out and go, oh yeah, now I get that. It now makes sense. Because there were certain things even at the end of watching it, I was like, huh. And then oh, Mulaney, duh, fucking idiot. I get now, okay. I get who you're talking about, and now it's a character that is a relative to character from another movie or other movies in the trilogy. So anyway, overall, I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it, even if you're not big on fan films. It was really well done. It was very similar. I mean, I would say not similar in the way it was shot or anything really how it was made, but I would kind of say it's akin to the Never Hike Alone series in that those were kind of the creme de la creme of fan films for Friday the 13th. Now, those were definitely made, more professionally. They had professional people making those films, or people who are more in the profession, if you will, at least as far as I know. I really don't know anything about the people who made Halloween Aftermath, but I would say that film is akin to Halloween, or it's more that style where it's a fan film that feels like it belongs with the rest of the official films. Just like I would say that for the Never Hike Alone movies, like those are probably the best. Huh, I'm only on my second one, and I'm only a quarter way through it, and I'm already falling all over, fumbling all my fucking words. Never Hike Alone is the creme de la creme fan film for Friday the 13th, where I would say Halloween Aftermath is that equivalent for Halloween. Is it at the same level? Probably not, just because, like I said, a lot of professionalism went into the Never Hike Alone movies. Now, like I said, with Aftermath, I don't know too much about people who made it, so maybe they're getting there. Who knows? But it was very much on that level of the fan film you want to see, not the one that was shot in somebody's backyard on their flip phone. So, anyway, I think that's enough about Halloween Aftermath, and I'm going to continue drinking this Allagash. I'm gonna finish these off one by one. So by the time I get to the last one, I'm definitely gonna be like, and here's the five. Normally 5 beers, I'm not gonna be terribly drunk or anything, but I don't have all night to do this, so I really gotta rip through these motherfuckers pretty quick. So we'll see how it goes. Just realized I'm starting to look like fucking Nick Castle, who's probably 25 years older than me, give or take. Yeah. The gray beard, the way it's getting long. Schnoz. I mean, that's been like that, but ugh. I mean, there's worse people that you could look like. Whatever. I think I'm about done with this one, so let's polish it off. Whew. Yeah, I'm not huge on dark ales, but it's pretty good. Ooh, that one almost came back up. Yeah, it ain't too bad. Let's put that one down there. Reach into the magic bag and see what we pull out. We have. Let's see it. Kind of dark in here, really. Ooh. Smutty Nose Brewing Company Pumpkin Ale. Ale brewed with real pumpkin and spices. Yeah, this will be the first. Oh man, that carbonation is killing me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, first pumpkin ale of the tasting. So I love a pumpkin ale. There's some really good ones. I think I have a few in the batch, and there's, I think, at least one or two that I've had before that are quite good. I just don't know what I have left in here. I'm just gonna peek real quick. I'm gonna cheat. Never had that one. And oh, god damn, that's a fucking pint. Sounds good though. I think I'll save that one for last. Yeah, so yeah, let's get into the Smutty Nose here. Kind of a interesting name. I don't know where they're from. I'll check that out here in a minute. Take the can back out of the koozie. Really can't smell anything. Yeah, it's definitely more like pumpkin spice. There's one that I've had before, and I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, where it tastes more like it has pumpkin flavoring added, where it's not real pumpkin. This kind of has that taste to it, just not as bad. Like that one kind of, I remember it sits in the back of your throat and kind of burns it a little bit. This one doesn't quite have that, but hang on, let me pull it back out. Where the hell is this from? It's only 5.9% ABV, so still fairly light. Well, can't tell. Oh wait, right there. What does that say? There's a bunch of places. Hampton, New Hampshire, Boston, Mass, Windsor, Vermont. So I don't know which of those is kind of their home base, but seems like they got a few locations. It's not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. I like kind of heavier beers with more flavor. This one's real light. Probably not one I would go out and get again, I don't think. Like I have a few pumpkin beers that pumpkin or pumpkin flavored fall beers, whatever, that I do really like. Like some of my favorites that I've got, they're my go-tos, and I think I might have 2 or maybe 3 of them on the next set. At least one for sure. Maybe 2. I'd have to double check. I really can't remember. I bought these quite a while ago, so I couldn't really remember what I had. So I just grabbed five randomly. I had 10 of them on the 10 or maybe even 11, I think, on the top shelf of my fridge, kind of tucked away in the corner. They've been there for, oh God, 3 or 4 weeks. Um, I've been planning on doing this for a while. It's just, I have not had the time to do it. So finally figured out we're coming to the end of fucking October. I got to get this done. So here we are today. But yeah, there were a few that I know I've had before. At least one that I can recall that I know is in the fridge, but I really didn't even look. I just grabbed the first five that were there and stuck them in the cooler and came in here and got going. So there was something else I wanted to bring up, and I already forgot. So let me look real quick. Oh, that was it. BloodyDisgusting.com. They've got this article says, we're putting together the ultimate Halloween franchise ranking with your help. And the only reason I knew about this was because Bill from the other Scade brought it up in a chat message a while ago. Shared the link and all that, and he had done his ranking. I haven't done one yet. I probably will. Probably won't do it tonight, just because I'll probably be 3 sheets to the wind, and I'll accidentally put Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 at the top or something like that, or then followed by Halloween Resurrection. I'll put them in fucking like reverse order or some bullshit. So that'll probably wait till tomorrow. I'm not sure how long it's open, but you should definitely get on there and put in your ranking. That'd be kind of cool to see how it goes. I mean, it's kind of a meeting of the minds, the collective scoring, I guess, of all the movies from, obviously not of all fans, but whoever decides to get on and give their input. So it'll be kind of cool to see how that comes out. I'm really hoping they don't get a whole, shitload of, fucking trolls who are intentionally putting like the worst movies, ranking them higher. I hope it's really just fans who are really into the series and into the franchise and ready to, give their input, so we can really get a grasp of what the fans really think. I mean, I know I've got movies that I would rank higher than most people I think would, as far as movies that may not have the best reputation in the series. But then there's also some that other people put higher than the ones that I do. So I guess we'll see. I really hope we don't get I hope like Halloween 3 doesn't just end up at the bottom because everyone's like, oh, Michael's not in that movie. It fucking sucks. Because I know a lot of people are like that. I'm not like that. And most of the people that I'm like friends with who are big Halloween people are not like that. They've really come to enjoy that movie, which is it. I don't even really want to get into this, but I'll just kind of bring it up. Is it a Halloween movie or is it just a Halloween movie by name? Does it really belong in the franchise? Does it, should it be kind of counted out? Should they even include that in this ranking? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I think it should, just because, I mean, it is it part of the lineage? No, which obviously there's 4 or 5 different possible timelines. I mean, there's timelines that in my head are different than all the timelines that I've seen people put out. Like, they'll do like 1, 2, H2O, or, something along that lines. And I kind of flip it around a little bit here and there. There's no general consensus on like what is the definitive timeline. I mean, obviously there's not one there, because there's movies that just aren't canon with other movies. They have to be removed. They are removed. So there's definitely there's a timeline in my mind, I think, that doesn't exist in most people's minds. Like if you look, you can look online and you can find actual graphics that have different, the lines and things and where it juts off. And here, the there's one that I have in my mind that I'm not going to get into it. Maybe I'll do that another day. That might be a good video to do. I'll forget about it tomorrow. Fuck it. Maybe I should just put a note in my phone. Otherwise, I will never fucking remember. Um. So yeah, I'll get into that maybe on another day. But for right now, yeah, if you've gotten or if you haven't, get on bloodydisgusting.com and fill that thing out. The next thing I've got sitting here, not related to anything actual, like an actual horror movie or franchise or anything like that. There were a couple of things that I needed for Halloween that I had ordered. There was one in particular that I had to have, otherwise it wasn't going to happen for trick or treating this year. I ordered it end of June and trying to figure out, like it wasn't showing up, and I contacted the seller and just going back and forth. I'll get into that a little bit later. So I started to make alternate plans just in case something didn't happen, if it fell through or didn't show up on time. So I knew I had a few things that I could use that I've used in the past. I was like, how can I apply that to something fresh, something new? So one of the things I found kind of neat was I can get it. This guy right here. It's a scarecrow style mask. Overall, I mean, it's not bad. I bought it off Amazon. I think I've seen it on Fright Props, I think, for sale too. Overall, it doesn't look too bad. It looks really close to what they show in the pictures on the website. It was cheap, 20 bucks, $25, something like that. Overall, not too bad. I mean, it's got like a cotton liner on it. And like if you look right here, you can kind of see it sticking out a little bit. So I was thinking I'd probably have to trim some of that off. One thing I had to do, it said it was like cotton and burlap was basically the material, but it's got a hard shell kind of around the face of it, like a face mask. You can kind of see, if you look real close, you can see it like on the edges of the eyes, where it kind of, a little bit of a glimmer to it. So I tried it on. It showed up. I tried it on, and I had this as like a backup. So I put it on, pulled it over my head, and I realized I can't look down. Like the way it sits, like it curls around your chin, and then it's real tight to the top of your head. And I couldn't look down without actually like, leaning forward, but I couldn't tilt my head down. So from about here on down, this area right here, I ended up peeling the material off of that plastic mask underneath and then cutting it off so that this here is flexible. So that way you can actually tilt your head. Fortunately, the main thing I was waiting for did show up on time. It was a week, maybe a week and a half ago, something like that. So this will have to wait. I might still use it next year. I might just say, I've already got what I need for next year and don't have to buy anything. But I also already found some stuff that I'm thinking about for next year. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go that route and just kind of keep this as somewhat of a collectible type item. It could probably use a little bit of extra airbrushing and things like that. And that's something I'm actually looking into, or have been looking into, is getting an airbrush kit. Because the thing that I had ordered for this year, when I did finally get it, I realized that it needed a little extra work. So I thought about getting, an airbrush kit and stuff like that. But timing wise, I just didn't have time to get one ordered and, kind of play around with it and figure out how to do different kinds of shading and shit like that. So that probably won't happen at all this year, but I might take it, you know, later on and make it look a little better than it does. But anyway, that is kind of the next item I had for you. And I also bought, when I ordered this, I ordered a shirt. It's like a collared button-up shirt. It's got the same pattern on it. I haven't tried it on, but it should fit just fine. It was an XL, so I figured that would be cool as like an undershirt. And then I've got this big trench coat thing that I bought to use as my own custom Jason Voorhees from 2 years ago. And I added a bunch of burlap like patches to it and stuff. So I think that would actually look really cool if I put it all together. So maybe when I get some free time, I might just throw it all on and see how it looks, how it comes together. So overall, kind of neat. Might end up in the in the backdrop. Might not. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on if I have room for it or anything. Plus, I've added a little more space for things, and the room I'm in really not that big, and I don't have that much space, so it might just end up on a shelf in another room. So yeah, we'll put that one away and keep on chugging away on this sumbitch. Well, I think it's finally time to break the seal. I will be right back. Well, I'm back from breaking the seal. It was nice. I'm just about done with this guy here, so let's see if we can polish it off right about now. Cans are so much harder to chug than bottles. Bottles go down real easy. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, not my favorite pumpkin beer by any means, but it's not bad. I don't think I've ever even heard of Smutty Nose. But not too bad. So put that one in the pile. Reach in, and I know which one I think was coming next. Yes. Now this one is a fairly local brewery that I've had a lot of their beers. In fact, they have some pretty good pumpkin related beers. They've got one. I think there's another one that'll be on my my next tasting. This one I don't believe I've had. It's from Southern Tier Brewing. They're out of the Jamestown area in New York. This is the Harvest Autumn IPA. So take a look at that little guy there. Yeah, I don't think I've had this one, but they do have some decent pumpkin and other fall beers. So be interested to see how this one matches up. Lakewood, that's the town they're in, but it's like right outside of Jamestown. Cheers. What is this? Number 4. Oh, we're getting there. Cool. It might just be because I'm coming off of a bunch of other beers. I probably should have had some kind of palate cleanser, but it really is more just like a lighter IPA to me. But give me a few sips and maybe it'll come around. I'll get the fall part of it. It might have kind of that Oktoberfest sort of influence to it. Ooh, I don't taste like pumpkin or anything right now, but it didn't say pumpkin, it just said autumn. So yeah, so far pretty much just kind of a lighter IPA, really. But yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of the flavors are sort of blending together a little bit. And of course, I just pounded 3 beers, not like fucking natty lights or some bullshit like that. So I don't know why. All of a sudden, I'm getting sniffly. It might be the beer. I don't know. Maybe it's my fucking cats that have been running around. It's getting colder out. They've been inside a lot more lately. There's dander and shit. The hair flying around, and I'm allergic to cats and dogs. But yeah, maybe that's what it is. Stirring it up, and they've been running around chasing each other, beating the crap out of each other. They don't even really like each other. They just fight all the fucking time. So whatever. I'll keep drinking this. See how I like it. What did I have? Whoops. Put your phone in your lap, go to touch your penis, and next thing you know, you're on some crazy site. Oh, I watched this movie the other day. It's from 1981. If you're a fan of like the original Friday the 13th, you might like this movie. It's not the greatest movie, like the way it was made. It was definitely a lower budget movie, but I mean, so was Friday the 13th, but it was actually really enjoyable. I like I have a real soft spot for movies that take place at like summer camps and things like that. Maybe it's because I went to a camp. It wasn't a summer camp, but I did go to it was a state DEC camp that we went to for school when I was in like 4th grade. So I really have a soft spot for those kinds of movies. It was called The Burning. Pretty neat movie. It was definitely a direct ripoff of Friday the 13th. I think I watched it on Tubi. I started watching it on Roku, and for whatever reason, the audio was not synced up at all with the video. Like it was off by a lot. Like not a little bit, maybe 10, 15 seconds. It was off by a lot. So I went back to the menu and researched it and found it on Tubi, and then it worked fine there. So I did end up watching it on Tubi. So if you're a fan of the original Friday the 13th, I would recommend it just because it has a lot of the same qualities. It takes place at a camp. It's kind of that, the killer you don't really see, those kind of vibes. But yeah, the fact that it takes place at I think it was a real camp where they shot it. If not, it definitely looked like one. But that kind of that feel of a real camp, even if it wasn't, really resonates with me. I love that feel. If I was gonna make any kind of horror movie, I think that's probably the type I would make. I know, again, it's Friday the 13th. It's a ripoff. Yeah, okay, whatever. But I think you can do something a little kind of original, but sort of the same idea. But I love that, the movies that take place, the killer that you don't see, kind of hidden in the shadows, maybe a lot of first person type point of view shots take place at a camp. I love that. That's if it. So my favorite franchise, horror movie franchise, maybe my favorite franchise of all time is Halloween. But Friday the 13th really has it also gives me a little bit of a boner. I'll put it to you that way. And a lot of it, especially the original and even the second one, they kind of the camp motif and the setting and all that. I love that. The anything that takes place at a camp that's a horror film, I'm in. Even if it's not necessarily, the killer that hides in the shadows and all that. I mean, even like Sleepaway Camp, which has that, kind of the same concept. Great movie. I mean, it's a great movie. Debatable. It's a good movie, but I really love it just because it takes place at a camp, and I just love the whole camp in the woods and the killer and all that. that movie's a little bit different because you kind of see where it's going as you're watching it. But uh, yeah, the Burning, 1981. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. Go give it a watch. It is free, available on Tubi, and maybe it'll work for you on Roku, or I think it was available on a few other streaming services too. So either way, it's out there, so you can go watch it for free. So even if you don't like it, whatever, you lose an hour and a half of your life, whatever. I mean, you don't actually lose the time of your life, but you know what I mean. It's worthwhile. Go watch it. And you can probably tell these are starting to get to me a little bit. So, oh damn, Jesus. Oh, they're hitting me hard now. So the next thing that I've got here is this thing. It was like $8 on Etsy, and there's a lot of variations you can get from different different movies, different films, different franchises, whatever, and also a variety of sizes. But the one that I got, this little guy right here, it's actually it's 3D printed, and just from just kind of looking at it like this, it looks pretty cool. When you look at it like really up close, which I won't be able to get the camera to focus quite the way I need to, but you can see like lines and stuff from where it was 3D printed on the front. But it looks really cool. And I mean, this one is only, let's see, it's about 9 inches. Isn't that what we all say, guys? Anyway, yeah, it's just a 3D printed little logo. It's kind of plasticky material, Actually, like you'd think it was real flimsy, but it's pretty goddamn sturdy. It's about probably about a half an inch or 5/8 thick, give or take. And I've seen different variations where they're made for like, you know, a lot of the Halloween movies, the Friday the 13th, Hellraiser. I think I've seen all sorts of places, or all sorts of movies and franchise and shit like that. This isn't the seller who made this isn't the only one who makes them. There's a lot of different sellers that they can make these kind of things. So yeah, you can hop on Etsy, take a look. Yeah, this one, I think it was like $8, for, I mean, it's not very big, but I think they made this one up to like 17 inches or something like that. We can get, much bigger ones. So I wanted this one to kind of put on my display in the background and all that. But yeah, I'm planning on getting a bunch of more. Definitely like I've got the Halloween 2 mask. I've got the Halloween Kills. I'll probably get one for this Jason mask right there. That's not a specific Friday the 13th mask. It's a custom one. It's the kind of the patterns on it are meant to be more like Freddy versus Jason, like I think they call it like the versus or the battle mask, where it's got damage around the eye and then like the scratch marks that would be from Freddy's glove. But the shape of the mask is definitely not from that movie. So custom made mask. So I might just get a random, just like a regular Friday the 13th type 3D made little placard for that. But yeah, this one, the thing I really liked about this one is that, the Halloween Ends, the logo and the font and the color and all that was taken from Halloween 3, which is, kind of an homage. But I'm glad they did that, and I'm also glad they didn't overdo the homage to Halloween 3. Now, obviously in Halloween Kills, they used the masks, which just the right amount, I thought, but I really like that one. The way the color and the font and all that, it just looked cool. So I got that. So adding that one to my collection, that'll end up in the bag here. All right, I've got a little bit left in this guy. I think I can pound her down right now. Sounded weird. Anyway, let's see if we can chug it. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. The can's kind of cool. I don't know. Autumn IPA. I don't know. Like, I don't know what really makes it autumn. Like, it might just have kind of those Oktoberfest notes to it, but it's still fairly light. I do kind of like. I mean, the can's cool. 6.7 ABV. The can's got on the back. It's got like a track. Dude on a tractor. Pretty cool. Nice can. Sometimes you get slapped for saying that. Whoa, shit. The tilt release on the chair just unlocked on its own. All right. So we're down to the final beer of the tasting for today. Let's see what we got here. We have Keuka Brewing Company, which is on Keuka Lake, which is actually not that far from here. I've been by it. I've never been to it. This is their pumpkin cream ale. It says malt beverage with pumpkin, spices, and natural flavors. So I'm hoping it's really good. I know roughly where it is. There's actually quite a few breweries that have popped up on Keuka Lake, and I almost went there a few weeks ago to do a kind of a brewery tour. Usually when you go up that way, you do a wine tour. You know, the Finger Lakes are really known for their wineries, but there are a lot of breweries that have popped up there. I think this one was on my list to go to. There's a few not too far from there that I've been to that are fan-freaking-tastic. So, yeah, I'd really like to get up there and hit some of those breweries. Yeah, there was a Saturday I really wanted to go, but I just really couldn't pull it off. So hopefully before winter really hits, like it's already getting cold. I mean, we're, like I said, about a week away from Halloween. So in New York State, that means it's getting cold. I mean, shit, I remember this time of year. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember going trick-or-treating in the snow, like while it's snowing. This year, it looks like it's going to be raining, so shit might not work out because I got a lot of stuff that I put out that it just can't be out in the rain. Otherwise, it'll get fried, you know, electronics and stuff like that. So we'll see. Hopefully, it holds off. If not, you know, there's always next year. So anyway, I'm gonna crack this some bitch. This is a tall boy. This is a pint. This is not a 12 ounce. This is a 16 ounce. So save the biggest for last. That's what she said. And pumpkin cream ale gives me a thought in my mind of what I should be tasting. So I guess we'll see if that's what we get. Let's see. Interesting. I get why they call it a cream ale. Like it definitely has kind of that cream soda type taste to it. And it's a little, I wouldn't say it's thick, but it has that flavor to it that would make you almost assume or believe that it's thick. But I don't think it actually is. That's actually really goddamn good. Oh, that burp just came out my nose and it burned. Ah, yeah, that's really good. That one, I don't want to say it's going to go down quick, but it might. Yeah, and then yeah, it might go down quick ish. Um, it's it's quite good. I'm gonna enjoy it. Whoa, shit! I dropped my goddamn phone. Hang on, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Good, didn't break it. Yeah, the oh, that is really good. So I had a few more things. Well, at least two that I was going to show you. I had one more thing that I was going to show you, but I've already got it out. It's out front for Halloween and it's mounted to like a false wall. So I wasn't going to bring it in, but if I remember, I'll add a photo for it in this segment so you can see it. Anyway, kind of last, like, this was, let me kind of digress a little bit. Oh, I ordered this in June and I kind of went back and forth with the seller. This was on from Etsy about, hey, how's it going? Whatever, what, after, weeks and then more weeks and then more weeks. And I was like, hey, oh, damn, it's really starting to hit me. Jesus Christ, I can't fucking get a word out now. So I was like, to the seller, what's the ETA and all this? And he's like, sorry, I've been busy, things going on in my life, whatever. I'm like, okay, I understand. I've gone through shit like that recently in my life, so no big deal. Just want to make sure, you're still actually, working on getting this thing right. So end of June is when I ordered it. So right about the end of September, I finally I sent him another message, and this time wasn't as nice as I has been, or as I has been. I feel like I'm on fucking Jay Leno, doing the headlines. How is he has been? So I lost my train of thought. Fuck my shit. That's what happens when you're drinking as much as I am right now. So let's have a little more and see how well it goes. So I had messaged him and been like, all right, it's been over 3 months and the original like shipping date was like August 9th, I think. So we're at the end of September or very beginning of October. I was like, listen, this this is going on long enough. I expect to have this by next week. I feel like that is reasonable. And he replied, he was like, yeah, that it's reasonable. Well, the next week it still didn't show up. So I went and started coming up with kind of a contingency plan, which was the like the scarecrow mask that I showed you earlier. So I started making alternate plans, but then about a week and a half ago, maybe it finally showed up, and I was watching I got the tracking number, and it kept saying, well, it was USPS, which is usually pretty on point, and it was like, not in the system, not in the system, not in the system, not in the system. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he ordered the label, but never actually fucking shipped it. So I was like, okay, I may not actually get this ever, let alone on time. So I started making this backup plan. Well, finally, it showed up one day, and nothing on the tracking, nothing. I was like, what the hell? So I looked at the tracking on the package, and it was actually the last number was wrong. So the shipping, the fact that he did ship it when he shipped it was accurate, but he had the wrong number. So I finally get the item and looking at him like, oh, it's okay. It's not great. It's a rehauled mask, and it took months to be done. I definitely expected more from it. Is it bad? No. I'm not. I'm not upset. I'm not like, oh my god, it fucking sucks. I mean, I paid good money for it, and I definitely expected more. And I will probably, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do what I want to do to it before Halloween. Like, I really don't want to, even if I do something to it, and it might, mess it up. I might not have time to fix it. So I may or may not try to enhance it. Overall, it's not too bad. I'm gonna grab it right here. Let's see. Halloween Ends Michael mask. So I feel like there should be a lot more depth in like the crevasses and a little bit more of the there. It depends on what part of the movie you take it from. Like early on when you first see Michael, he's got a lot more of like the. I mean, it's probably just cotton is all that is, but it's supposed to be like cobwebs and shit like that. There was definitely more of it, and then later in the movie, I think there was a lot less. Just like on his jumpsuit. Like I've made my own jumpsuit, and maybe I'll, if I think about it, I'll add a couple photos in the video when I edit. I had made a Halloween Kills Michael's jumpsuit a few years ago when I did Halloween Kills for Halloween, and overall I thought it came out pretty well. So this year I decided to just modify that one and update rather than making a new one. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it, but it's got a lot more of like the cobweb type look, like especially on the left side. So I feel like this should have a little bit more. But this could be, he could have, designed it to be a little bit more towards the later of the film, or a lot of that stuff wasn't quite as present. So overall, I mean, it's not a bad mask at all. I added some padding on the inside to make it widen out a little bit, like when I wear it, because otherwise it looks kind of narrow. But I feel like it should look a little bit more like that, just a little bit wider. So I did add some padding there. But if I feel like it, and if I get the time, and if I'm confident in the time that I have left in order to do it, I might add some darker tones to like the crevices in the mask, and then add a little bit more of the cobweb look, if you will. So that was the big one that I've been waiting on, and finally it did show up. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I wasn't expecting something that looks exactly like what came off, or came from, Christopher Nelson. Clearly not. I mean, if you were going to buy a mask that he made directly, you're going to be, you could easily pay tens of thousands of dollars. This thing was, I mean, it was a few $100. I'm not going to lie. You're getting the mask itself, which is probably, $60, I think is about what they run, $60-$70, whatever. Plus the work to rehaul it. And now I'm not a rehauler. I think I could do, like, if I bought one from like Spirit Halloween, just the basic mask, which they look like shit. The way they're painted, fucking terrible. I think I could make it look pretty similar to this, and probably a little better. But it is what it is. So overall, I mean, it's gonna work. It's gonna do its job. So Um, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not disappointed with it or anything, but I do think there is some extra detail work that could be done, and if I have the time and everything, then I will probably, hopefully, maybe add a little detail. You know, make certain things that are like the deeper crevasses, make them just a little bit darker, and add a little bit more of that sort of cobwebby look to it. So, but overall, not too bad. So, um, put that one away. And then the last thing, or last things, I guess, let me grab them real quick. So I ordered one of these. I'll show you the one I ordered first. And I was like, maybe I can just like cut out part of it and make it work. And then when I got it, I was like, no, that's not gonna work. So it's well, I actually think I'm certain they shipped the wrong one. They had options. They had Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. I'm pretty sure they sent Halloween Kills rather than Halloween Ends. It's kind of the eyes, if you will, for Michael. And I was like, well, I'll order that, and then maybe I can just modify, like, I mean, either cut out cut out the good eye and just use it, right here. Okay. But then the way it fit and everything, like it presses real tight against your eyes and everything. I was like, that's probably not going to work. So then I thought maybe I'll cut it in half and then modify it to fit as just the one half. I was like, well, maybe it'll come to that, but I found something else that I figured might be ideal. Now, I also found something that is kind of the same thing, but it was like a glue-on appliance. But I found this. It's like just the singular eye, and it's got the elastic band around it. And I was like, well, I'll give that a shot. So I ordered it, and then it was like, I think it was like October 9th that I ordered it. And I had no update on the shipping, nothing, never listed as shipped. Well, this afternoon, when I came home from work, I had a package, and it was just like a bubble wrap envelope, and I was like, well, there's only one thing that I've ordered that I'm expecting, so hopefully it's that. And I was kind of feeling the package, and it felt like kind of lumpy, and I was like, oh, what the? Doesn't feel like when I ordered. I'm like, what is this? So I cut it open, opened it, and it's this guy right here. And it actually looks really good. When I tried to put it on, and the elastic is definitely a little snugger than I would like, so it fits a little tight. Overall, actually, it's not too bad, and it looks really good. When you look at it in like regular light, it looks like the eye looks really blue, but when you look at it just under general lighting, it actually doesn't look too bad at all. Like it looks more kind of that whited out light, or the lighted out eye. So overall, it actually looks pretty good. And this was a Halloween Kills design, so it's like the skin tones are dirtier and shit like that. So not too bad. I thought maybe I might have to take the elastic off, and I've got some spirit gum where I could glue it on and all that. But after trying it on and putting the mask on, it actually looked pretty decent. So I think I'll just use it as is. So, but the fact it wasn't the shipping, it never showed as shipped. And that was another thing I bought on Etsy. And Etsy, you never know. It's not like when you buy something on Amazon where when you buy it, like they give you a shipping date, and usually they're pretty damn accurate, or it comes early. It rarely comes late. And if it's going to come late, they usually say they send you an email or message or whatever. It's like, sorry, it's going to be late, delays, whatever. And if it is late by more than like 3 days, they're like, click this link and we will give you your money back. It's like, sweet. So when it showed up today, I was like, oh, cool. I was kind of concerned that it might not. So I'm glad that showed up. I think that's all I have as far as shit to show you. So I'm going to keep working on this guy. And then we'll finish this sumbitch off. Yeah. Oh, that one came out of nowhere. Well, guys, I'm getting close to the end of this one. I got a little ways to go, but I'm gonna go take a leak, and then I got some other shit to do. It's getting kind of late, actually. It's fucking almost 8:45 right now. I got some other stuff I gotta do before going to bed and all that. So it's been fun. It's been some pretty decent beers, and I'll have to double check. I can't remember exactly what I have in the fridge, but I know I've got some decent ones. So I think I may have kind of separated them out. Like, here's the not as, anticipated ones. I put them in the front and maybe the better ones in the back. I actually kind of hope that's the case, because I definitely want to do this again. And if I have, hopefully I have time, I'll get to it again, maybe midweek or so. I think, because I'm taking a couple of days or a few days off because I've got some people coming in, and I might potentially have a celebrity guest that I can bring on for a little bit of video in the next week or so. So that might be cool. Hopefully that'll happen. I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet, but I know he's gonna be here. So either way, maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, but I'm gonna keep working on this thing and get it polished off here pretty quick. So that being said, till next time, tune in wait, I haven't done this in a while and I can't remember what I'm supposed to say. That, and I've been drinking for quite a while, and I'm fucking into my 5th pretty heavy beer. Well, I mean, a couple more than that, but the ABV's still pretty decent. So anyway, let's see if I can get this right this time. Till next time. No, that ain't it either. I should just give up. Tune in next time to find out what's on tap. Cheers.